Welcome back to the roller coaster of madness that is the League Zero formula, and what a spectacle Round 8 at Mount Panorama turned out to be. The iconic Bathurst circuit, known for its treacherous turns and unforgiving walls, did not disappoint, unless, of course, you were one of the drivers hoping for a quiet Sunday drive. Now, before the race even kicked off, there was chatter among the drivers that's worth mentioning. Gail Rolls, ever the instigator, floated the idea of a for-fun race at Bathurst in max wet conditions in the SFL. He mused, "Think about it. It'd be really funny." Well, Gail, after what we've witnessed, I'm not sure funny is the word the others would use. Antonio Bianchi couldn't resist getting in on the action, proposing an over-under bet on 9.5 cars surviving the first lap. A bold wager, considering Bathurst's reputation. AJ Brenner chimed in confidently, "You're gonna die." Encouraging words from a man who described himself as an angel, though others might debate that characterization. As the lights went out, chaos ensued faster than you could say Mount Panorama. Raymond Aguilar seemed to believe that the best way down the mountain was by inspecting every barrier personally. He ran into trouble in Sector 1 not once, not twice, but 3 times on the very first lap. Perhaps he was searching for that elusive, perfect racing line, or just his lost dignity. Meanwhile, the midfield became a whirlwind of overtakes, resembling a group of shoppers battling for the last discounted flat screen on Black Friday. Antonio Bianchi was a man on a mission, overtaking Gareth McAllister and Jerome Barber for P8 in quick succession. However, his progress was halted when he encountered issues in Sector 3. Rumour has it he was looking for a pit stop to fuel up. Not his car, but perhaps his courage. Up at the sharp end, Richard Lai and Gail Rolls engaged in a duel that would make even seasoned gladiators wince. Swapping positions multiple times, it was as if they were jointly conducting a masterclass on how not to let the other driver get comfortable. Social media was alight with fans joking, "Can we place bets on how many people will spin or get wrecked on the first lap?" Well, judging by the on-track antics, they weren't far off. By lap 2, the mountain was already claiming its victims. Elliot Corton made impressive moves up to P5 before the circuit reminded him who's boss, leading to trouble in Sector 2. Shaji Zuhair, not wanting to feel left out, ran into his own issues in Sector 1 on lap 4. Perhaps he was inspired by his own earlier suggestion. In the off-season, we should do an Australian supercars race at Bathurst. Careful what you wish for, Shaji. But let's focus on the titanic battle for P1 between Jaden Calloway and Richard Lai. These two swapped the lead more times than a hyperactive relay team. Laps 7, 8 and 10 saw position changes that had fans on the edge of their seats, or rolling on the floor laughing, as the social media banter suggested. Jaden proclaimed pre-race, pit start to first place challenge, and he certainly lived up to the self-imposed gauntlet. Then, on lap 10, both drivers ran into trouble in Sector 3. It's almost as if they agreed beforehand to keep the race exciting. Gail Rolls couldn't help but comment, "Good one, Ray," perhaps mistaking who was involved. But honestly, at this point who wasn't? Amidst the turmoil, Delmas Leo quietly sneaked into P2. While others were busy turning the race into their personal audition for a rallycross team, Delmas kept it clean, proof that sometimes boring is fast. Jace Meyer, who earlier joked about needing chaos, hard limit, spin at the dipper please, found himself in P3, possibly rethinking his entertainment preferences. Back to social media, where the drivers' chat was just as lively. AJ Brenner declared, "You're gonna die," and after the race, perhaps some wish they had. The banter between Antonio and AJ escalated with playful jabs, each accusing the other of not using their eyeballs during the race. It's comforting to know that even if their on-track vision was questionable, their wit remained sharp. As the race neared its end, pit stops shook up the order once more. Richard Lai, after his earlier misadventures, found himself in P5, while Xavier Sainaive climbed to P4 despite a roller coaster of a race that involved running into trouble in Sector 3 on lap 3. Xavier had earlier quipped, "Will there be 10 starters?" Well, Xavier, starters we had. Finishers were another story. Finally, after 20 grueling laps, it was none other than Jaden Calloway who took the checkered flag, adding another victory to his already overflowing cabinet. As Antonio announced earlier in the week, no need to say more. We will be running the Super Formula next season. Seems like Jaden is ready, championship trophy in hand. Delmas Leo secured a well-deserved P2, and Jace Meyer's P3 finish proved that sometimes chaos does pay off. Antonio crossed the line in P5, probably wishing he'd taken his own bet more seriously. In the aftermath, the drivers couldn't resist one last bout of banter. Gale apologised to Jerome for a rejoin incident. "Sorry about that rejoin, man. I didn't mean to take you out." A heartfelt sentiment, though one wonders if it was met with a wry smile or a clenched fist. So there you have it. A race that started with predictions of disaster and did absolutely nothing to prove them wrong. The mountain claimed its share of egos, carbon fibre, and perhaps a little bit of sanity. But as the saying goes, what's the point of racing if the parking spot isn't perfect? Wise words from Gale, who might be considering a new career as a philosopher or a parking attendant. As we look forward to the next round, one can only hope the drivers have learned their lessons. But, judging by the social media chatter, they've already moved on to planning the next bout of mayhem. Until then, keep the banter flowing, the pedal to the metal, and remember, at Mount Panorama, the walls don't move, but the drivers certainly do.